right. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shah, Bashim Kakwadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles of Jesus, will of well. Peace, blessing, salutations to the hopeful elect that consists of you so-called Negro Latinos, Native American, West Indians, which makes the 12 tribes of Israel, modern day, and from beginning as well, being the Lord's chosen, starting with the elect. The Lord's will be edified. Times that we're living in, discernment. Let me get that real quick. So just pulled up something. Well, some precepts. So I'm gonna start off with 1 John 4:1. 1 John 4:1, beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of the Most High, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Little discernment. We done had women pastors that have came about. You have had women that say they're Christians, anointed, heavy believers, even women that are Israelites, wear, have their head wraps, wear dresses, but deep down they are witches. So, the times that we're living in, you have to be very careful. These women just being out there, feminism has destroyed them. I have a pamphlet. This is 10 types of women to stay away from. I forgot where I got it from, but I'm going to go through it. Those will be edified. Scripture talks about how a wicked woman is given to the portion of a wicked man. So you got to understand, these women can either be sent to you to give you a little bit of peace on this side, or a little bit of rest, haven, or she can be sent to you to destroy you, because we see how a lot of men are being pretty much taken under, being brought down, getting their riches taken from them, and this in general taken down. These women has been able to crash and just destroy, and that was all the agenda of the New World Order. Like you read into I forgot where, Revelation, I believe Revelation 6, when it tells you pretty much how Esau was able to take peace from the earth. When you go into the 7 heads and the 10 horns, you understand him coming back into power from the rebirth of the Roman Empire, which is the 4th beast. And when they came back into power, they was pretty much going to come into power and do the workings of Satan, spiritual demon Satan, and pretty much turn everything upside down. So this is what you're seeing today, So you done had a turn around, as if men were just, degenerates, and then women were just so much as angels. So you have to try the spirit. You have to, you can't believe everybody. You can't just be walking around naive and stupid as hell. Let me say, let me get this real quick. See what this says. So Philippians chapter 1 and 9, and this I pray, that your love may abound yet more and more in knowledge and in all judgment. You gotta understand, women. Women can destroy you. And this even goes for me. Something that the Lord put in us as a man, our testosterone, and our affection and lust for women. So you have to control your loins. Easier said than done, by far. Easier said than done. Beauty has deceived many men. Scripture talks about not to fall for the beauty of a woman. You can't not sit there and say women are not beautiful. Their body, that box they got between their legs, it can turn you out. Like the scripture to go into First Esdras, the 4th chapter, talking about many men that lost their wits and what men have done for the results of a woman. But it says, verse 10, that ye may approve things that are excellent, because you got to understand, you know, things are going to get even worse as women are really like losing and, bugging the fuck out. You're going to see women are just, going to put on that naiveness, basically like how Judith took um, her clothes of mourning and put on her clothes of mirth. Well, you're going to have women take off the clothes of mirth and put on the clothes of mourning. They try to deceive you. So, you know, you women are crashing out, and you want to have discernment, that you may be sincere and without offense till the day of Yahweh Shah. So you don't want to be intermingled and intermeddling with meddling kids with these women, because they can destroy you. Let me see. But I'm just get Proverbs 3 and well, I'll let brothers read that because this is pretty lengthy. But Proverbs 3 and 1, my son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. So let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck, write them upon the table in thine heart. So so shall thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, and man. So you got to understand. Well, I'm gonna keep going. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not into thy own understanding. And in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. So you get it. Don't forget the law, statute, commandments. Staying locked in, staying focused, staying tuned in, because again, you can be taken out of here. Yahusha talked about the cares of this world, the parable, the love of riches and things, getting choking you up. One thing that have choking men up is women, and they're the alcohol and different things such as such and such. Remember, Paul said, if you do get a woman, you have to pretty much start to care about things that she endeavors in. And we understand women are really not right. They're regardless. Lot's wife was a perfect example of wickedness, but she still looked back and towards Sodom and Gomorrah. So again, that discernment, in the times. I can tell pretty much brothers in the spirit, even myself. When brothers link up, go out of state, goes venture out, and they see brothers, and I can tell through the spirit that desire of just hanging out, going out. Brothers will go out, get a bite to eat, chat, talk about the scriptures, talk about Yahweh Shah, because all things we do, we glorify Yahweh Shah. So, but my point of saying this is always that I can tell that that going out to the nightlife club scene and brothers, trying to swing upon something, that's pretty much dying out. Not the thing. Um, Let me see. Where was I? James 1:5. If you lack any wisdom, one thing you need to know and learn is the times, the discernment of the time, and you really want to learn how to be stoic and really not to be. You pray not to be consumed by a woman, and allow you not to be beguiled by one, because that one of woman's heaviest tool and weapon that they have is that manipulation. They know men desire their box, and will somewhat remember, it's a world that women are in, that they conversate, they network. Like if you have in the world of the harlots, They all have a network. They all have their own code of, I guess, their own ways and forms of fashions of communicating with each other, and let women know what's going on, the price, etc. So I'm pretty. So best believe these women have their little how you call it, like they had the manosphere, but pretty best believe these. I'm gonna call it a horror sphere, a harlot fear, a slutter fear, because these women are not telling each other to be wives; they're telling each other how to beguile men and get over on men, and pretty much use them and destroy them. So it says that giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. So going to this pamphlet, it goes to say 10 types of women that can destroy a man's destiny. And we gotta understand our destiny is the kingdom. It says brutal truths every focused man must know before it's too late. And we're focused, well, you're supposed to be focused. Your attention span is supposed to be your how about Shah, and not anything in this world. We gotta understand this world is very corrupt. So it says, you don't hold on. You don't need to sleep with a witch to be bewitched. Sometimes all it takes is the wrong woman in your space, and your life begins to move backward in slow motion. So remember, a lot of women are deep down under how you say under. Basically, what I'm trying to say, a lot of these women don't have the, when you look at a witch, you think of an old ugly woman witch with a big ass nose, with a ugly ass hat, and fucking laughs all wicked and evil. Nah, no, 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 no. Witch can be your own mother. Your witch can be your own aunt. Your witch can be your own grandmother that has raised you, and you never knew. I remember even amongst my family, on my dad's side and my mom. I remember stories of my own people, women on my mom's side going down to South Carolina and doing that voodoo shit. Now in Cuba, on my father's side, I know a lot of my family on the women's side. Well, the women of how you say, the women that's on my dad's side, they're high voodoo priests, and they're into a lot of that Santeria. So, and this was back in the day, and they're older women now. Do they still do certain rituals? I don't know, but they've done it, they experienced it, I've heard of it. I've seen someone. Well, I haven't seen it face to face, but I know of it. Basically, that's what I'm saying. But for moving on, these little young girls, they don't realize the same shit that the elders, the elderly women are done. They're doing it now, and plus, it's even worse because this witchcraft now and this sorcery that these women are getting to now is really the sorcery and witchcraft of how to destroy men and pretty much take your mindset and make a man pretty much worship them. They're going into that Queen of Heaven worship. So you have to be careful out here. Have to be careful. And again, that's even goes for me. So it says she doesn't need jazz. She doesn't need spells. Her presence alone is enough to scatter your plans, confuse your mind, and bury your potential. Let's expose them one by one. Let's see what it says. The beauty without brains. She's gorgeous, face like art, but when she talks, you realize there's nothing upstairs. She adds nothing, contributes nothing. Just eat your time, your money, and your peace. Destiny doesn't respond to makeup, bro. So that's one, and that's heavy. A lot of women. Again, Scripture talks about that. Let me see if I can find that. So Proverbs 31:30, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord shall she be praised. So let me get this real quick, Salaki. Um, Let me get this in. Hold on. Sirach 36, 22, and 24. A woman's beauty makes a man happy. Yes, it does. It really does. There is no fairer sight for the human eye to see. If the if the woman is kind and gentle in her speech, her husband is the most fortunate of men. But you can have women that are gentle and kind in her speech, but be a damn devil, be a demon. So it says, when a man marries, he gets the finest thing he will ever have, a wife to help and encourage him. But this just says, this says right here, she adds nothing. So hold on. It says in the scriptures, Sirach 36, it says, when a man marries, he gets the finest thing he will ever have, a wife to, and this is in the GNT, a wife to help and encourage him. Well, it says in this pamphlet, the beauty without brains, she's gorgeous, face like art, but when she talks, you realize there's nothing upstairs. She adds nothing, she contributes nothing. Just eat your time, your money, and your peace, you know? And that's the majority of these women, you know, even the ugly ones. Um, this is Sirach 9 and 8. When you see, this is at the GNBDC, is when you see a good looking woman, look the other way. Don't let your mind dwell on the beauty of any woman who is not your wife. Many men have been led astray by a woman's beauty. It kindles passion as if it were fire. Remember, can't trust a big butt and a smile. And you can't trust a nice, tender body or a tender, well set hair. Northern Kingdom women, Asian, so-called Asian women. Um, there's women out here just in general, bro. You got some sexy fucking women out here. But overall, you can't allow that woman's beauty to just pretty much allow you to just lose yourself and lose your drive, lose your passion, lose your ambition. And here it is, you got a hot, fiery spirit for Yahweh and Yahushua. You get this bad little broad, and next thing you know, your fire and your ambition, your drive is being quenched, because now, so your passion and your drive that you was putting in for Yahweh and Yahushua, now you're trying to put it into that woman. So again, you got to be very careful. So it says, 2, the soft life or nothing, babe. She has no hustle. Yeah. The soft life or nothing, babe. She has no hustle, no skill, no value. She's allergic to struggle, but wants to live in luxury. And guess who will fund her laziness? You. If you stay long enough, she'll drain your wallet and call it standard. And that's what women do. That's the world we are living in. And isn't that funny that, even escorts and harlots and this woman in general, they will sit there and say, fuck men, I don't need men. I don't, you're strong and you're independent, but you're constantly asking men for money. Basically, that's how you leave with now. So it's a big contradiction going on out here. But these women are so fucking jagged upstairs, they don't realize what they're saying. So pretty much, and if women was really so independent, they would be paying. They should be paying for you. And they pretty much they would be self sufficient. They wouldn't need anything. So basically, if you really had it on your own, you really would somewhat could talk and just sit down and be yourself. But you're not yourself. You're an idiot. So it says, 3, the forever victim. She's always sad, always in crisis, and you got to watch out for bitches like that. That's why I say one thing, and I've noticed about this too. Dealing with them project bitches, dealing with them ghetto hood rats, just dealing with bitches that always got some. Because women will use her sadness for manipulation. Her She's very emotional, don't know how to control her emotions. She would just act all irate. Matter of fact, I think I forgot what channel it was. It was a podcast. I don't know if it was Book of Alpharonomy. I can't remember. One of those channels. But he basically brought out the fact that this Jake, this rapper, whatever, got up with this little average looking chick, and the bitch when she got into a car, that bitch just started playing emotional Tarrant. Start trying to play mind games and try to really try to bait him in. And it's crazy if he didn't record her, that nigga, that nigga would have gotten locked up, man. Um, and it's crazy because then she flipped everything on around, called the cops on him. It was like, yo, this nigga kidnapped me and did this, da da da, and blase blase. So again, man, you all fucking would have brought off a dating app, but in all actuality, it's not just dating apps. It's fucking everywhere. You can pull up on a broad. You can the so-called code approach thing. You can one thing I want one thing I can say, what I always try to do, even when I was in the world, just growing up in general, I would try to go through a mere friend. Um, put me on, blase, blase. She got a friend, whatever, whatever. I always try to do it that way. But that code, you just don't know a broad. Deep down inside, she's fucking with somebody. She's fucked up. You just don't know nothing about this broad, man. This is it's dangerous. Living in a dangerous world. So if you want to look for something, go. I would if you know a crowd of people and you know some group of people, I would just go the old school route. Do she got a friend or blase blase whatever? But it says 3, the forever victim. She's always sad, always in crisis. Always need you to be there. If you're not careful, you'll spend your whole life being her unpaid therapist instead of building your legacy. There you go. A lot of women like that. Emotional, I forgot what they call it, but it's emotional. She uses her fucked up emotion to drain you in and lure you in. Basically, she can call you in your beckoning and any beckoning call. 4, the seductress with no substance. Every time she shows up, your sense disappears. She knows what you like and she weaponizes it to control you. By the time you realize what she's doing, you lost your money, mind, and mission. 5, the gold digger with class. She doesn't ask you for money directly. She just positions herself until you feel guilty enough to pay for everything. Oh man, yeah. She's not broke. She just prefers to live off you. You're not her man. You're her business plan. Yeah, man, I'm trying to tell you, man. These women got a lot of trains, a lot of bullshit with them, a lot of bullshit. You have to. Matter of fact, let me get that as well. So Sirach 26:3 said, "Wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man," and this is why you constantly seeing, this tragedies and catastrophes with men and women here in America. But a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. And ultimately, we're going to really get our women doing it, in the kingdom, you know. Um, and what Isaiah, Jacob's trouble, Isaiah 4. So continuing on, 6, the spiritually dead woman. You're fasting, she's twerking. You're praying, she's gossiping. You're focused on Yahweh, Bashing Yahweh, she's focused on TikTok. Being unequally yoked is not just about marriage, it's about direction. She'll lead you away from grace. Yeah, you got to know who's around you. You know, yes, women are demons, but you gotta, if you're really gonna take any of these broads serious, you really need to do a full study. You know, you need to be knowing her family, her background, etc. Basically, like, all right, boom. You should always run your fucking background and any job you put yourself out there for. Um, he wants your, what is it, social security number. He wants to know your 10 years of residence. He wants to know your um, credit. He wants to know information. You'd be like, yo, what the hell? Why this? But hey, people fill this shit out because what? They want a job. Well, if you're gonna be courting these women and dealing with these women on a serious matter, you calling your rib or your my girl, my shorty, my wife. You really need to ask. You really need to, damn, how Esau does on these apps. You really need to court. How you say? I said the word earlier. You really need to, damn, do a diligent search on the woman that you're calling yourself, um, your woman. That you're going to go out your way. You're going to look out for her. You're going to try to appease her mind, so to speak, and you're going to have her around you, around your goods, your funds, just around your peers, just around you in general, and around your substance. You really need to be learning who the fuck these bitches are. Because a lot of these bitches are, again, witches, etc., warlocks, demons, etc., whores, sluts, just got too much shit going on. So continuing on, this is 7, the misentitled. She believes she deserves everything just because she's a woman. Because she wants a soft man, a soft life, and zero contribution. She's not a helper. She's a queen without a kingdom. And you're the fool who's funding her fairy tale. Yeah, a lot of men don't understand. These bitches talk a lot of shit, but really, if it weren't for the men, really just in general, if men wasn't, backing this bullshit, these women would just be fucking through. A lot of countries in other, a lot of countries in the other, in the Middle East, Far East, they don't tolerate this shit for women. They get rid of them. Cuts all that bullshit. So, 8, the toxic feminist clone. She believes all men are trash, but still wants a man to take care of her. She argues more than she agrees. She brings rebellion, not peace. You're thinking you're dating her, but really, you're fighting a movement. So, 9, the ex you refuse to let go of, she's in your past. Yeah, man. If any bitch walked out your life, man, yo, fuck the broad. Don't go back to her. Don't go back to her. Don't go back to her. She left you. She thought she could do better. She thought the grass was greener. She fucked and sucked, and who knows what. Here it is. You. I don't know what you and that woman did between you and her, but um, she left you. Got up, just left you. Cold turkey. Boom. She woke up that morning. She said, she woke up, looked at you. You know what? I don't think this is gonna work out anymore. I'm gone. Hey, open the door for the bitch. Let her go. Don't plead for her. Don't get on your knees. Don't none of that shit, bro. Let the keep. Okay, I don't. You know what? Me neither. I don't think it's gonna work neither. Goodbye, salute, capiche. Get the fuck on. Get the fuck out of here. Let the bar go. Um, you don't want to nut a changeable person like that. Around you. And a lot of time, a bitch do that shit to try to see how she can emotionally manipulate you or try to break you and just play games. We ain't got time for those games. Let the bitch go. We're not falling for those games anymore. Let the bitch go. So it says, 9, the ex you refuse to let go. She's in your past, but she still has emotional keys to your present. You claim you moved on, but her voice still influences your decisions. It says, bro, close that door. It says right here, the Most High can't open the next chapter if you're still rereading the last one. Yeah. Cause deep down it, the bitch left you. She really just using you to contain her emotions until she found the next guy. And we all know when a woman deal with a guy. Well, I back in the day, I would say men used to conquer women and tame women, and women would start acting like the dude. So if you say yo, if you're a dude that say yo, here it is, she's saying yo. Now if you're a dude that says bro, now she's saying bro. So you get what I'm saying. But now I don't know, man. These bitches are just they're trying to conquer men, So these women are just out here just trying to eat, devour, and destroy men. Like I said, so when the bitch leave you, bro, this let the bitch go. 10, the one sent to waste you. Let's be real. Not every woman is from the Most High. Some were assigned by hell to delay you, distract you, and destroy your destiny through sex, stress, or subtle sabotage. Don't just look at her face, discern her spirit. So yeah, because we understand how certain women are sent to destroy. Women can either be sent to you. One of the best agents are women. Um, Many women have taken a lot of men down. It's like you look at a lot of beefs and wars. A lot of your opposing enemy will send a woman in. You know, um, yeah, women can be sent to you to destroy you, or build you up, make your hell a little bit more easier. If this bra is not contributing or doing something to make your hell a little bit easier, all right. One thing I make an example for as well. This how us men tend and strive for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, do lessons, and we don't need this. Like for instance, Yahweh don't need us. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, he don't need us. We need him. So we got to constantly be at his door. You know, it's a scripture I can't remember, but pretty much it was to wear out the doorsteps. It was like irksome, annoying, but in the same time, you know, how you say on point. A woman, a woman needs you. You are a man. You're the Lord. A woman needs you. You know, so if she's not wearing out your doorsteps, she's like I said, I know Jake, and I know how I've dealt with women and etc. But we ought to know when a woman wants something, she's gonna fucking get it. All that shit she be saying. Oh, nigga, you gotta be 6 feet, mad inches, and this and that. Hey man, if that broad like you, she gonna fuck you in the car. She'll fuck you outside. You don't. She that bitch gonna do a backflip, front flip, side flip. She gonna let that. She gonna open them legs up for you. However, she gonna make you. She gonna want to make you feel good. But overall, you know, um, we understand. If a woman is not pretty much, texting you, make sure you good, calling you, staying around. You shouldn't have to be second guessing, man. This bitch, what the fuck is this broad doing? If you gotta do all that, man, I don't know. And like I said, if she's not tending to you and contributing, man, like for instance, right? Nowhere in this world you can go and that selfish, greedy mindset. It don't that shit don't that shit don't build nothing, man. You don't get nowhere thinking like that. So and we as men know the not knowledge and understanding of Yahweh Shem. We understand All that shit is stupid. All that shit is stupid, and it's a doctrine. In this man's man's how you say, I can't think of the word, but that's all vain philosophy and Esau's bullshit propaganda that he used to tell these women. But I'm gonna read the final, and we're gonna wrap this thing up. So it says, final word. It's not about hating women. Yeah, you know, yeah, we hate these. We hate what they do. Um, you gotta have understanding. This world is wicked. Esau has funded these bitches. Esau had put his power into these bitches, and he's using these bitches to bring in a new world order. He's weakening society by these bitches. So you gotta. I want to say it's not about hating, because we do have hate towards these bitches. Like, these bitches they deserve to die. You know, these bitches have done treason, the most heinous cruelty. Like the scripture says, no wickedness is coming from but no wickedness is more wicked than a woman. You know, through her we all die. She's the first one who transgressed. So women are fucking wicked. And yes, it says right here, it's not about hating them, but you gotta understand, these women gotta go. It gets to this point. It's not really, fuck the talking, fuck trying to correct them, fuck trying to, sit down. Let's talk. Let's build. Fuck no, bitch. You need to die. Majority of these women need to be put down, and the Lord has to, Lord has to intervene, because these women are extremely wicked. And as men, you have to understand, these women are wicked. These women are not angels. They're not for you. They're out here to destroy you any way they can, and try to nitpick off of you, make you look stupid. You worship them, and they can just live this soft, simple, easy life, because you gotta understand, the bitches are in survival. And once this oppression has destroyed many of the minds of these people, so these women are not living in their natural. They're not living natural. They're not living like themselves. These bitches are living in survival, and things have happened to them. Trauma has happened to them, and now they're taking all this hatred out on you men. So you think you got you a little baddie and a little your wife and your woman in your rib, and this old beautiful thing beside you. Bitch is a demon, man. Half of our mothers are demons. Half of our grandmothers were demons, sluts and whores. It's just something you got to face up, man, up to. These women are fucking wicked. So it says, it's about protecting purpose. You see that? It's about protecting your purpose. So you have to understand, these women have power. They have the power to destroy men. Why? Because Esau allows it, and he pushes forward for women to do so. Any woman, the government, all of this whole system understands these women are fucking evil beings. They're evil as hell. But they go to these courts, and they're allowed to do so. And I've seen it firsthand. How you go in that courtroom, you are, anything happens between you and a man, between you and your woman, when you go step foot in that court, as a man, automatically you are a demon. You're the worst thing ever. You're a criminal. You're the worst thing fucking ever. And if you got a clean record, well, take that back. I've seen it, because if a woman drops a charge, whatever, and try to work things out with you, the courts will try to go further beyond and see if you got a criminal record to punish you. But nonetheless, you have final words. A wrong relationship can cost you, 10 years of your life. If it can drain your finances, destroy your peace, damage your name, and delay your calling. So think, who's around you? What's she costing you? And where is she really leading you? Because some women are not just distraction. They are destiny detours with pretty faces, man. So that's the end. That was The end of that pamphlet was going to 10 types of women that can destroy a man's destiny. And our destiny is to get the kingdom by the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Well, by the will of Yahweh, by the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. But those we was edified. With that, I'm gonna say shalom.